Hey everyone, how are you doing? Sorry for my voice. I'm a little under the weather. I've been so for a week, but got a little surprise yesterday that I looked at on Facebook Marketplace for no particular reason, just maybe spare parts for the snowblower I've been working on and stuff like that. And I came across a new project. My wife was going out near where this thing was, so I had her stop and pick it up. Check this out. John Deere LT190. It's a little worse for wear. It's got some hours on it. It's got 968 hours according to the meter, but generally it's in good shape. It came with the plow and a 48-inch deck. It runs and drives, and it was listed for 300 bucks, and there's really no way I can go wrong with that. Here's the mower deck that it came with it, and the blade. They're both in pretty good shape, I would say. Need a little bit of tweaking and maybe lubricating. It was stored outside, at least short term, but I'm gonna say that for many of its years it wasn't, because this thing is not all rusted out. The blade isn't all rusted up, just a couple rust spots. Even the scraper bar there is actually in pretty good shape. So I think we're going to be good on this stuff. Like I said, for 300 bucks, I really don't think I can go wrong for 300 bucks. So anyway, this is kind of turning into almost what a John Deere tractor channel or something, and I don't mean it to be that at all. The truth is, I'm just playing around with this different stuff, trying to build my way up by buying and selling some stuff and using it and learning from it. And I figured this way I get to learn about these things and maybe make some videos along the way for you guys. You know, until we moved here a year and a half ago, I never even had a tractor. I've only just had a push mower, and in a year and a half now, this is the 5th one I have, which is just ridiculous, but that's just what it is. So got some real good deals on a couple, turned them around, used them a little bit, learning a little more on each one, and that's the story there. So let me push this thing out of the garage here. Like I said, I was just gonna park it for the day, but I figured with the conditions out there, if I clean it up a little, change the oil, I can drive it around for a few minutes out there and see what it feels like, if there's any obvious problems with the way it drives. So let's see what we got. I did grab a charger to put on the battery this morning, and in just about an hour, or not even 30 minutes, it was back to a full charge. And that was what was 20 degrees overnight, and when it was in the van. So with those cold temps and the battery getting charged up again that quick, it tells me, and even this morning it cranked a little bit before I did put the charger on it, so that tells me the battery is at least pretty good. It's from December of 18, so it's 4 years old. So this is what we've got. Looks like a little bit of oil down on the frame here. Maybe a little bit of an oil leak there. That could be because the filter wasn't tight. Maybe the dipstick tube is leaking a little. Got a little oil buildup there. And I don't really know much about these machines. Like I said, I'm learning as I go. So if you guys want to make some comments, tell me things that I should know, I'd really appreciate it. I watched a video this morning on adjusting the valve timing on these, so I might be doing that soon because it's probably due at 968 hours. We'll change the fuel filter today. We'll change the oil. The tires look pretty good. And it did get driven when my wife went to get it, and got driven around and towards the van, backed up, then driven up the ramps into the van. So I know the transmission isn't totally shot. you know, it at least drove up those ramps pretty good. So if it was struggling, I would say, okay, it's definitely low on oil, but I'll pull that out one day. We'll take care of that. I've done that twice now on 2 of the other tractors I have, so I'm already a little familiar with pulling out the transmission, draining the sealed unit, and filling it up again. But this Kawasaki 18-horse engine's got me a little bit excited because I know it's a really, at least supposed to be a really good engine. So even with all those hours, if we got lucky and they didn't just abuse it and run it out of oil very often or at all, then, you know, we'll be good. But okay, let's see what we got here. What's that? Oh yeah, that's some nastiness. Alright, let's get this oil filter off. This should be a nice mess. I'm gonna go get a jack and jack this thing up on one side so this drains out and off the frame. There we go. That's a mess. That is some nasty oil in there, so we're gonna definitely benefit by getting that out. Alright, we got this cap back in. Put the oil filter on. A little extra. Alright, we got this cap back in. Put the oil filter on. A little extra. And wipe this off before I even take it off all the way. Holy cow. That's, see, you don't want this gunk around there. You want to try to keep your stuff clean, guys, that's for sure. You don't want stuff falling in your oil tube. See, just by the color of this, the discoloration on this, I'm going to say that they probably didn't change the oil quite as much as they should have. This is right there, you want to use 10W30. Got some 10W30, full synthetic. We'll be putting that in. Let me get that taken care of. And we need 2 quarts. Okay, so we've got oil in there. Let's see if we're at a good level. Been sitting for a couple minutes, so I know we'll get a pretty good reading. And yep, we're at the full mark. Good. Okay, so we're just gonna spend a few minutes cleaning this up a little bit, and then we'll take it for a little spin. Definitely a few years of gunk on that. I think it's because this tube was a little loose when I first tried to crack that open off camera, and you know, the oil would have been leaking out of between the tube and the oil pan. It's going to clean up nice though. It's just going to take a little bit of effort. We'll get it all spick and span. Alright guys, so this is why I want to clean it up real good and go around just wiping it down, because look what I just found here. So this wire obviously has seen better days. So we're going to have to address that before too long. You know, and it was hidden really nicely behind that fuel filter and tucked in with these other wires. So you can see that's a problem, and that's exactly why the first thing I like to do is just take some paper towels and a bottle and just start wiping stuff down and cleaning it up and wiggling things and moving things around by hand, so you can see where there might be any potential problems. Get some of the gunk and junk out of here. And see, while I'm poking around and wiping things down, I can just see if there's maybe, you know, another loose or broken wire. Looks like this cable sheathing has melted a little, so got a little too close to something. Looks like we have a little bit of debris in here, so they drove through the grass, or maybe Mr. Fluffy was trying to build his nest. We'll be taking this cover off and looking at that in the future. Today's just a quick once over, go around the whole thing, looking at it, seeing what it might have as a problem. Another scraped up piece of the cable, but we know that all works. That cable, the choke cable, is a little tight. Probably just spray a little WD-40 in through there. Yeah, it's a little tight, so we'll get that freed up. Alright, well, we know it's got oil. Alright, so that's just, you know, 5 minutes of wiping it down with some paper towels, sticking your hands and head in around, looking at things, see what it looks like. Found that one compromised wire. So far, that's really the only surprise that I have found. You know, we'll take some covers off in the future and look at that, but let's see if we can fire it up. I know it runs, so we got the fresh oil in there. Give it a little gas. Pull out the choke. Ready? Oh, we're gonna have to. We got the brake. Ready? Say that's bad. Yeah, it runs pretty smooth. Let's see what happens to take our foot off the brake, or take the brake off. We get off the seat, it should shut off. There's a little bit of a whirring in the trans in reverse. So that tells me it's probably a little low on fluid, and a little bit of a surge going on. Oop, let's see what happened here. Choke off. It started for fuel a little bit. Okay, so it doesn't want to run on half throttle. A little choke. So with the choke out a little bit, it will idle. Well, maybe not quite. Through some of that fuel with that quick clean in it, and you know, it could be partly a fuel problem. Of course, the carburetor could be a little bit dirty. I'm not worried about it yet. It runs, so that's a huge plus. You know, for 300 bucks with the plow, the deck, all four wheels and tires are in good shape, and it actually runs. Again, I can't lose on this deal. It's just, you know, doing something to play with for a while and learn some stuff. Maybe turn around and sell it after that, and well, we still make some money. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll learn something on this together. All right, take care. See you in the next video. All right, guys, so it's been about 15 minutes that I've had this thing just running after putting some of that quick clean in the fuel. And remember, just a little bit ago here, it didn't want to really run off of the choke. Well, I've got the choke all the way in now, and look at it on idle. Low speed, just running, not dying at all, and it would not do that before. Even on high speed, it was a little sketchy. Now I can turn the throttle up and it runs, and I can turn it right back down. And that quick clean's already made a difference in the way this thing runs. So that's great, huh? How easy is that? A little bit of a fuel additive. We've already got a couple of the parts worked out.